Hi everyone, welcome back to Candid Football Conversations. It's been a while since we did a video on Indian football transfers, but we're back. It's been a lengthy Indian national team season. That's done. That's out of the way. There's only club football to look forward to now, and we're only going to be talking transfers in this episode of Candid Football Conversations. A lot of big signings have come through, and there's a lot to talk about. I don't think we'll be able to touch on every signing every club has made, but we'll touch upon the biggest ones and the most notable ones and all of that. Right off the bat, I'm going to pick up one and throw it open. Anirudh Thapa, we didn't get to talk about him. It wasn't done by I think when we did our last video. Now it's done. He's gone to Mohun Bagan. What's the feeling around that transfer? Now I'll come straight to you. Big signing. Did you see him moving?
Um, Again, there are certain people who say they would have liked Thapa to have stayed at Chennai and be the sort of one player, one club sort of career sort of footballer. Owen Coyle made an interesting statement saying that we had Changte, we had Thapa, we had Vishal Keth, but where was the success? And very valid point. I think Thapa needs to prove that he is a player who is of the caliber, of the standard to play at Mohun Bagan. Not only him but other players as well. And again, it's I think Mohun Bagan have been one of the most active teams in the transfer window in this transfer season. And it'll be interesting to see who is actually going to play for them in the starting 11, because the one or the other new signing could end up on the bench. And not only that, it will be interesting to see also which are the players which will leave the club in the coming weeks, because they do have too many players. They have some weaknesses, in my opinion, in defense. Attacking looks brilliant, but I think they need to sort out a little bit their defense, at least the backup of their defense. And that will be very, very interesting to see.
Yeah. Shine, did Thapa impress you during his spell with India recently?
If you ask me, Rahul, Thapa recently, when he played for India, he was playing better. But if you see the ISL last season in ISL, when he was playing the ISL for Chennai, the amount spent by Mohun Bagan to acquire him, I think that was an insane amount. What I think the first thing which come to my mind, because with all due respect to the player, he's a very good player, but the amount which has been spent on him, I think it's an insane amount of money has been spent on by Mohun Bagan to get them. They needed somebody, and they've got in now Abdul Samad also. That last time when we were there, he was also not there. So if you ask me, Thapa is a good sign. They needed somebody in the midfield, but let's be what Arunavada said. I think I totally agree with him that there will be many people who will be leaving them. I think already Puitia, as Kumar is saying here, he has left for Odisha. There will be or 2-3 more players more who will be leaving them very soon. Pritam Kotal already left, and there will be 2-3 players moving from Mohun Bagan. So let's see. But Anirudh Thapa's inclusion is something new, and I am very excited to see how he does in Kolkata with all the pressure and the amount spent on him, and there will be total media glare on faced on him. How good is he as a player? And now the real test of an individual will come to play, because support will be there, but if you are not playing to your potential, then people are not so cooperative here. So let's see.
Speaking about media attention and how players will handle it, I want to see how Abdul Samad handles the pressure and the move to Mohun Bagan. Harry, what do you make of this signing? This is somebody who I'm not sure of. Frustrating at times. What do you think about Sahal and what do you think about the move to Mohun Bagan?
Definitely one of the star signing without a doubt. I think पोस्टर बॉय थे केरला ब्लास्टर के, एंड उसको यहाँ पे मतलब जिस तरह की डील में भी उन्होंने साइन किया है, आई डोंट थिंक सो कि फाइनेंशियली भी उतना ज्यादा उनको आई थिंक इसमें कुछ मतलब आउट ऑफ द वे जाके करना पड़ा है. आई थिंक 90 लाख जो आई थिंक अमाउंट आ रहा है, 90 लाख प्लस प्रीतम कोटल. आई थिंक इट्स अ गुड फेयर ऑफ अ डील, एंड इंडियन प्लेयर्स आपको मिल रहा है, वो भी रेगुलर नेशनल टीम में खेलने वाला, तो ही हैज दैट क्वालिटीज विदाउट अ डाउट. लेकिन जैसे आई थिंक सैनदा ने बोला, आई काइंड ऑफ एग्री विद देम कि द बिगर द प्लेयर्स यू आर ब्रिंगिंग, द मच मोर बिगर स्टार यू आर, उसके साथ एक्सपेक्टेशन भी फैंस की बढ़ जाती है, एंड दे ओनली सेटल विद द ट्रॉफीज विदाउट लेस, मतलब चाहे आप फाइनल खेलो उससे कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. they only settle with the trophies. तो आपको मतलब AFC कप की उम्मीदें बढ़ चुकी है, ISL की आपको कप को रिपीट करना है, तो आई थिंक वो भी एक जॉन फर्नांडो के ऊपर बड़ी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आ चुकी है कि he has to deliver now. I think he has everything in his disposal. एंड आई अरुणोदय सर की बात से मैं एग्री करता हूँ कि डिफेंस मेरे को भी अभी भी एक लगता है कि नो डाउट देयर इज अनवर अली एंड एमिल, लेकिन स्टिल आई फील कि दे नीड समवन स्ट्रॉन्गर एज अ बैकअप. सुमित राठी इज आल्सो देयर, बट आई थिंक ही नीड्स समवन की एक जो एक अच्छा बैकअप के तौर पे चाहिए, क्योंकि आई डोंट थिंक सो कि अनवर अली एंड एमिल पूरे सारे मैच खेलेंगे. एएफसी कप आपका आ रहा है, उसके अलावा आप आईएसएल में खेलोगे, उसके अलावा फेडरेशन कप भी अगर बीच में आता है, तो आई थिंक देयर विल बी लॉट ऑफ मैचेस. एंड उसके अलावा हमको पता है कि इंटरनेशनल शेड्यूल भी कितना टाइट है, तो अनवर अली वहां पे भी इंडिया के स्टार्टिंग 11 में है, तो अगर थोड़ा सा ऊपर नीचे हुआ तो दे नीड ए सॉलिड एक बैकअप के ऑप्शन में. मेरे को लगता है सुमित राठी ऑप्शन जरूर है, लेकिन आई स्टिल बिलीव कि दे नीड समवन मोर स्ट्रॉन्गर. तो आई थिंक द ओनली एरिया वेयर दे नीड अ मोर, यू कैन से, स्ट्रॉन्गर बैकअप is defense. Otherwise, they build up a super team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but you also mentioned that they, while going forward, they look like one of the finest sides they've made. They have three foreigners who can play up top. They've got Dimi Petrotis, who is already at the club. They made two new signings, Jason Cummings and Sadiku. And what is there any space for Indian forwards? Fan club makes an important point. Do you see Manveer Singh getting into the side? What happens here?
Well, there are multiple options, of course, right? If you look at Manveer Singh is a topic, Ashik Kurunian is a topic, Sahal is a topic. You know, we've got multiple players at Mohun Bagan. From an Indian national team perspective, you know, how will if these boys will play? And we've seen, you know, someone like Pritam Kotal moving away from the club. Of course, there were certain issues between him and the coach. I think that's the main reason why he's left. Plus Anwar coming in, Ashish Rai already being there. So it is a star-studded lineup. I think the biggest job for Juan Ferrando will not be really picking the first 11, but actually keeping the players on the bench or even in the galleries happy. And that's, you know, and also in your reserve side, there's some boys who are showing potential in the Calcutta Football League at the moment. So therefore, keeping the whole ecosystem happy with Senor Habas in the background also, you know, either it'll work or it'll be fireworks at Mohun Bagan, and that's going to be an interesting one to see. But the signings, you know, especially, you know, if you look at Jason Cummings, a player who is really top class, you know, solid Scottish background. Central Coast Mariners won the A-League because of him. Armando Sadiku, typical Albanian guy, but again, all these are hot-headed guys. So if you're going to put them on the bench, I don't know how they'll react, because I don't know if you can play Cummings, Petratos, and Sadiku. That's one. And the second thing, again, AFC Cup potentially you could, but can you do that in the ISL or Duran Cup as well? Because you have to look at your midfield and your defensive unit, because I would say that Carl McHugh / Brandon Hamill are likely to play. You most probably will bring in. The question is, will Hugo Bumu stay? Another question that is there. You know, he is on contract at the moment. So it will be, you know, interesting times. We've still got 5-6 weeks for Mohun Bagan Supergiant to really showcase if they're really Supergiant or will become Supergiant this season.
Yeah, Arnav, just while you're answering, anyways, can you just take this question from Kumar Reddy? He's asking, what is your take on the Gotia Cup? What is the level? Things like that.
It's rubbish.
Okay.
Simple. It's an open youth tournament. It's, you know, Indian teams have been going there for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. They come back. I know the IFA Mayors 11 or whatever used to go there. This team, that team. All of these youth competitions in Europe, they're fun competitions. They're not serious competitions. You could play a tournament here at Remscheid over the summer. It doesn't make a difference. This is not a competition where FC Barcelona is playing or Manchester United or Bayern Munich. These are all, you know, showcasing yourself, whatever, and, you know, you can, you could win big. So therefore, sorry, you know, we're bullshitting ourselves. We saw the under-17s, right? We know the results of the under-17s. This, again, everyone talks about scoring 4 goals. Guys, we conceded 8 against Japan. They could have scored, you know, 14, 15, maybe 16 against us. That is the reality, guys. So sorry, but if I'm getting on a tangent on this, reality check, we are nowhere at the moment internationally.
So that's your answer, Kumar. And okay, Shayan, again coming to you. Let's go to the other Kolkata club, East Bengal. Which signing has excited you the most so far?
See, I would say you when we met last time when we had a discussion, and the signing I think after that was Prabsugan Gill's signing. I think this was people were expecting something a good goalkeeper to come, and he has arrived, and he has already arrived in Kolkata with his brother. His brother also joins us from Mumbai City FC, and I think that is a signing after Nanda Kumar. I think in this season, I think East Bengal has gotten a good after Nanda Kumar. If you ask me any good signing after that, I would say obviously Prabsugan Singh Gill, because if you see last year, uh, people may say our defense was bad, but our goalkeeper was equally bad. It's no issues. Kamaljeet Singh had his problems with the goal, and I remember a few of the games where we could have saved. At least we could have got some point out of many games where it was totally a goalkeeping blunder. So we got in, but the real problem in our club has not been solved till now, which is the defense, the back line. I think that's the biggest problem. The centre backs. We are hoping a foreign defender will be signed within this week. We're just hoping it. Ivan Gonzalez till now has not been given a golden handshake, which everybody is wanting. But that is something I think worrying factor for us, and we need a very good Indian centre back with Lal, because Lal last season has been good, but if we want to compete and to be in the top six, we need very good quality players to be in the top six. So that's an harsh reality, and I think we should admit that. And till now, if you ask me, from last season to we are in a better position, in a better shape. So if you see the timing also till 19 July, I think Quadrat will be here next week, and with his team he'll start working. Already Bino has started the training, and we are already playing Kolkata League matches with our RFDL team, and we are having the practice session going on. All the Nishu Kumar, Harmanjot Singh Khabra, all have joined the club right now. Prabsugan Gill also. So people are in practice, and let's see. I think we will do better than last year, but I don't know where we'll stand after our end of the season, because I think it mainly defense will be the main thing. And if you and coming back to your question, Prabsugan Gill, I think is the best signing we have done till now after Nanda Kumar.
How important is Prabshukan Gill to East Bengal? How much of an upgrade is he in the goalkeeping position?
डेफिनेटली बट एक इनसाइड बता देता हूँ. गोचिया कप की बात आई थी. नंदा कुमार शिकार प्लेड गोचिया कप इन 2008. तो दैट्स जस्ट द थिंग. लेकिन उसके बाद बात करें, आई थिंक डेफिनेटली प्रभसुकरन गिल विल बी आई थिंक रियली क्रूशियल signing for East Bengal, because last season we seen that how मोहन बगान के लिए विशाल केत एंड जिस तरह से यहाँ पे गुरप्रीत संधू गोलकीपर देखिए, आपको टूर्नामेंट जिताने के लिए, इस तरह की लीग जिताने के लिए काफी क्रूशियल रहते हैं. एंड जो आपकी मतलब 1-0 टाइप जो नैरो मार्जिन विक्ट्री होती है, उसमें गोलकीपर का काफी ज्यादा बड़ा रोल रहता है. एंड आई थिंक डेफिनेटली लास्ट सीजन ईस्ट बंगाल ने कहीं ना कहीं गोलकीपर में स्ट्रगल किया है. तो आई थिंक प्रभसुकरन जैसा एक यंग प्रोमिसिंग इंडियन गोलकीपर जिसने मतलब लास्ट सीजन केरला ब्लास्टर के लिए थ्रू आउट द सीजन गोलकीपिंग की है, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि बेंच से बैठ कर आ रहे हैं, मतलब अपने आप को प्रूव करके आ रहे हैं. और आई थिंक हाईएस्ट एवर क्या बोलते कि सेलिंग गोलकीपर है, हाईएस्ट एवर. तो लेट्स सी कि उसकी एक्सपेक्टेशन भी ज्यादा है डेफिनेटली. एंड आई थिंक टॉप साइनिंग मेरे हिसाब से. आई थिंक दे डेफिनेटली रियली नीडेड फॉर दैट. एंड आई थिंक सैयदा की बात से भी एग्री करूंगा कि सेंटर बैक में स्टिल दे नीड. आई थिंक बोरहा गर्नारो की न्यूज आ रही थी स्पेनिश सेंटर बैक की, कि उसके साथ यहाँ पे ईस्ट बंगाल लिंक्ड अप है. तो लेट्स सी कि कहाँ तक वो डील पहुंची है, and if they can manage to sign him or not. So I think they definitely, I think मेरे हिसाब से they definitely need a one foreign center back without a doubt. बाकी उसमें मिडफील्ड में I think they have really great signing Saul Crespo. I think उसकी उतनी ज्यादा बात नहीं होती, लेकिन आई थिंक मेरे हिसाब से वो काफी क्रूशियल रहने वाले, अगर ईस्ट बंगाल इस सीजन अच्छा करती है तो. उसके अलावा बोरहा अरेरा, उन्होंने भी हैदराबाद एफसी के लिए बढ़िया किया था. एंड जावी सिवेदिया तो नो डाउट वो बेंच पे ज्यादातर रहे थे लास्ट सीजन. क्लिंटन सिल्वा भी है. तो आई थिंक डेफिनेटली अगर एक फॉरेन सेंटर बैक आ जाता है, देन टीम लुक लिटिल बिट मोर सेटल, पर्टिकुलरली फर्स्ट स्टार्टिंग 11 की अगर हम बात करें तो. आई थिंक दे डेफिनेटली आर एमिंग फॉर दिस सीजन इज playoff. And I think Prabsukaran Gill is I think मेरे लिए भी I think after the Nanda Kumar Sikar I think I will rate that signing is top class signing.
However, moving from East Bengal to my club, BFC, finally it seemed like it had just gone dead for BFC for a long, long time. And then we recorded a podcast, I think one day before BFC signed Curtis Main, and we were like, man, there's nothing happening. What is this? All of that complaining and all that. And then the Curtis Main announcement came, like finally settled some nerves. But apart from him, Haricharan Nazri and Rohit Danu as well, how much of a role do you see them playing, Anova?
I think you have another one which at BFC a lot of people are forgetting Slavko Damjanovic. I think
Yes.
strong, solid centre back. I think Cheyenne would have been very happy to see him in East Bengal colours. If I'm right, Ajay Chetri might be looking in. So you've had something. You've also extended Sunil for another season. I think that's important. But you're also building Suresh as your new sort of poster boy. You've got Gurpreet in there, so you've got some stability, even though you've lost some. Interesting to see Sandesh go to Goa. That was an interesting one, which Sandesh Chingan to me, with the way Sandesh plays, sort of normally does not really fit into the FC Goa sort of scheme of things. But I think Curtis Main is as a first solid foreign striker signing is good, but BFC have had hit and misses over the last few years. After Miku, so therefore that's going to be the question if he can settle in. Interesting to see also how Simon Grayson does, because he started off very well, won the Duran Cup, then had a very, very bad patch, looked like he was gone. Then the team turned it around, reached even the final. So therefore, it will be interesting to see how, can he bring some consistency to the new look BFC. And of course, BFC also has some interesting young players. Let's see which ones they will give a chance from the reserve side, from the BFC calls. But I'm also looking forward to Rohit Danu. I remember when he was 16, he came onto the scene, very talented. I saw him in Bangalore training with that group of players who were trying to regain fitness, with Dangmai Grace, with Amarjit Kiam, Deepak Tangri and others. And I've always liked Rohit Danu. I hope that he's another, a different way, another Changte in a way, highly talented, but can he really make that breakthrough, or will we, even talk in 5 years about him of being a great talent? And I think, as mentioned, Holichar Nazri, very, very experienced campaigner, gives that effort, and not the worst one in that way to bring. And then you've got Salam Johnson Singh, brought him from Trao, one of those many sort of talented Manipuris and Mizos that can be thrown into the mix, and the hope is always that one of them clicks, coming from the I-League. So far BFC has done well, and it'll be interesting to see. I mean, again, Jovanovic, Damjanovic at the back. You have, if I'm not wrong, Javi Hernandez is going to stay another season. Now you have Curtis Main. So in that way, I think BFC have started to build not only a decent side, I think a good side, and it'll be interesting to see how they sort of settle. And the question is, Shiva Shakti, can he produce another season like this? How much playing time will Sunil get? There's a lot of questions that BFC and the BFC faithful like you will be asking.
And I think I do have a couple more questions for you, Anava, because yeah, you're right. I think there are way too many questions right now. First question: does Simon Grayson stick to a back five? Does he go to a back four next season? If he does go to a back four, that means they will need two wide players. Who are the wide players going to be? And does Sunil Chetri play as a number 9? And if he's going to play as a number 9, then where does Curtis Main fit in?
Sunil is not playing as a number 9. He'll play wide left if he's playing. And if they're playing two, again, I'm interested to see the whole Shiva Shakti thing, how this whole Igor Stimac incident has influenced the player. Was he not fit? Was it an issue of confidence? Was he nervous? Very interesting to see how he reacts. But he's got people like Sunil around him who will certainly support him and back him. I think he'll stick to a sort of a 3-5-2 ideally, or fall back at a 5-3-2, that sort of formation.
Yeah.
Or maybe a 3-4-3, maybe, I don't know. There are options, and you've got in Harvey, you've got a potential playmaker in that system. So actually it's a 3-4-1-2.
Yeah.
So you have to be a little fluid these days with formations and depending on your players. So therefore that will be interesting to see, what Simon Grayson plays and what are the lessons that Simon Grayson takes from that first season. I said, high at the beginning, problems in the middle, good finish in the end. Will be interesting to see.
And it will be very interesting to see. One person who has left BFC and has joined Odisha is Roy Krishna. Shine, do you see him bouncing back from an ordinary season with BFC?
See, Roy is a very quality player, and Roy had a very tough time when he joined Bengaluru last season. When the season started, he was not up to the place, but as the season went on, he had some injuries, niggles, which took a toll on him. But in the last part of the season, he was there. If you see the last few games, he was playing really well. I was expecting that Roy was not of that level when he was with Mohun Bagan or ATK before that. Age is also catching up, but I'm sure that he'll add more colors to Orissa attacking line, and I'm sure that he will do 100%. He'll do. I think he'll try to prove a point, and I am sure that he will do it because he has all the credentials. And he's a very quality player. We know any good player has a bad season. He had a bad season last year, so I'm pretty sure. And with Sergio Lovera at the helm, and I think there are very exciting days ahead for him and Odisha FC because if he gets going, he will be a difficult person to stop. He's a totally different player. Totally different player.
Harry, is there something interesting going on at Odisha at the moment? Sergio Lovera, the interesting foreign signings, Jahu, Murtada Fall, now Roy Krishna. What does it look like for you in terms of what Odisha can do in this season?
You asking me?
No, Harry, I think
Acha.
yeah,
Okay,
right.
okay. Odisha FC definitely. I think they are looking really promising. I think definitely a candidate for the playoffs without a doubt in ISL. But the interesting thing to see how they are going to perform in AFC Cup because this is their debut in the you can say Asian competition. So I think that will be the really interesting, and that's why I think Sergio Lovera also brought up without a doubt because this is a big thing for Odisha FC also to represent. In the AFC competition. So I think that's why they're making some really I think interesting and proven players signing. I think Murtada Fall, Ahmed Jau, and Roy Krishna. I think all of them are really good signing who are proven themselves in ISL. So I think interesting signings. But I think still they need a one Asian signing. So that will be also interesting to see who will be they are bringing. Already they have a Mauricio and Delgado. I think these two are last season. I think absolutely brilliant. We see in them in the Hero Super Cup also. So I think they are making some interesting you can say team and so Indian players they जो sign किए हैं उन्होंने. I think that are also really interesting. Putia, I think that's a great signing. So I think they are making silently a team that can be you can say dark horse in this season ISL without much talking. But the good coach, good players, proven players, I think they are going to be that force that I think every team has to be careful because I think they are really strong team. उसकी इतनी ज़्यादा बात नहीं हुई. I think मोहन बगान, मुंबई सिटी एफसी, गोवा की ज़्यादा बात होती है. लेकिन I think ओडिशा एफसी also I think build a really strong team.
Yeah, and I know while we're on Mauricio, it's interesting because what do Odisha do now? Do they play with two strikers or do they go with one striker? And Darshan makes a valid point. So what happens now?
They've got options, right? I mean, with Mauricio, with Roy Krishna, and the advantages. Diego Mauricio has played with Murtada Fall and with Ahmed Jahu at Mumbai City. I think that's also a big advantage. They have a coach who likes to play with formations. If you see, when Bartok Beche and Adam Lefondre were at Mumbai City, he was using sometimes Bart, sometimes Adam. So therefore, good to see that Lobera has options. Not only that, but he's also brought in some very interesting Indian signings as well. If you think that Lenin Rodriguez is one of them, Jerry Lalin Zwala, who was not rated highly at East Bengal, but I still think that he's potentially one of our best left backs on his day. Putia could be an interesting one, who's had 6 tough months at Mohun Bagan. So therefore, Amay Ranawade as a right back coming in. You've got competitions. Most positions. And I think that's an interesting one that Odisha has tried to do, is not only just build a first 11, but actually try and build, a team with options in most positions.
Yeah. When moving on to Kerala Blasters, they've just lost Sahal, got in Pritham Kotal. Any other updates, or are we still waiting on what is going to happen with Kerala? Shine, any information on who Kerala are looking to
On-
sign?
They're looking for Ishan Pandita, what I know. Ishan Pandita is an option, and there's a huge chance that he can move to Kerala Blasters. In fact, we have said it before also. So there's a chance there, and they're looking out for many other players. I think I've heard that there are many one or two Mohun Bagan players whom they want to check and get there in the team. Players name I'm not taking it because that is on a primitive stage right now. We should not discuss, but there are few players on Mohun Bagan which are there under their radar. So there are players. So I think till now, what I think, and I think Unauda and I discussed also, we were discussing this, that Kerala Blasters till now, what they have done, I think they have done a very good business. If you ask me, they got in Prabir Das from Bengaluru, I think on a free transfer. I think that was a good signing. Then they got in Pritham Kotal from Mohun Bagan. I think they needed somebody with Leskovic in the back line. So they got in Pritham Kotal from Mohun Bagan, and they let in go Abdul Sahal Abdul Samad, who was actually not who was not the starting 11 player of their team, because he may be a fan favorite, but problem is his game time was very limited. If you see last season, so till now what they have done, what I think they have done smart buying, and if they continue to do so, Kerala Blasters is what I think they are using brains, not money much, but they're using brains. They are getting in good money from the transfer, and they're getting in good quality players, and that is very interesting. They've got in Hormi Pump. I don't know what I'm hearing that Hormi Pump may leave the club. That would be an issue, because there are many clubs who are in the link with Hormi Pump, but not East Bengal. But Hormi Pump is in the radar of many of the clubs. So let's see. I think if you ask me, Kerala Blasters till now has a very decent side, and I think this team is one of the contenders for the top 6 for the playoffs in the ISL. If you ask me, this team has something in it.
Well, Harry, they bought Pritham Kotal in. They also have Prabir Das. Both of them can play at right back, but it looks like Pritham Kotal could play at centre back. Do you see that happening? How important is he in terms of being a leader as well?
Definitely, I think he is going to play with Leskovic. I think he will be playing as a centre back. I think I think हमने मोहन बगान में भी सेम चीज देखी थी. He plays as a centre back. वो तो नेशनल टीम में ही वो राइट बैक खेलता है. आई थिंक द मेजर इश्यू फॉर देम इज जो कल सेट बैक आए जोशुआ सोटोरियो. आई थिंक जो उन्होंने एक फॉरेन साइनिंग की थी वो यहाँ पे इंजर्ड हो चुके हैं, एंड ही ऑलमोस्ट आउट फॉर दिस सीजन. आई थिंक अभी तो वो 2024 का बता रहे हैं, लेकिन आई थिंक ही विल बी आउट फॉर दिस सीजन. तो आई थिंक दैट्स द बिगेस्ट सेटबैक, बिकॉज बैक टू स्क्वायर वन वो आ चुके हैं. आई थिंक जो 3 प्लेयर उन्होंने फॉरेन रिटर्न किए थे, दिवांता कोस्ट, एड्रियन लूना एंड लेस्कोविच, आई थिंक वही 3 है. तो फोर्थ जोशुआ सोटोरियो की साइनिंग थी, तो अभी भी दे नीड अ टू फॉरेन साइनिंग. लेट्स सी वो विल बी देयर. एंड आई थिंक एमोन्यूल एक नाइजीरियन स्ट्राइकर को क्या बोलते कि एज ए ट्रायल पे वहां पे लाए प्री सीजन में उनके साथ. तो लेट्स सी कि उनके साथ क्या वो उनको कॉन्ट्रैक्ट यहाँ पे क्या बोलते ऑफर करते हैं कि नहीं. एंड ईशान पंडिता's link up, I think rumor are true. I think they are going for that Indian striker, and I think they should be going because Vukomanovic, we already seen he likes to play with that 4-4-2 formation. Last time it's Gianu and Dimantakos. I think so. He is finding that you can say one Indian striker for that role also. But I think the main issue I think they will be is having in the back line. I think the fullbacks are that not solid. Prabir Das is I think good, but the left back I think Naucha Singh from Mumbai City they have loaned out player, but I think he is also not get that much game time in the Mumbai City also. So it is going to be really exciting to see. And the other one is I think goalkeeper. I think they are also linked up with Lara Sharma from Bengaluru FC. They're going to goalkeeper. Sachin Suresh contract they have been extended. But I think let's see how Sachin Suresh is going to perform because in Hero Super Cup I think he looks good. I don't find it he looks uncomfortable. So I think it is going to be really interesting to see how he will be the main goalkeeper for the this season ISL. I think that will be a bigger opportunity for him, but the bigger responsibility also. And let's see if they sign any other goalkeeper for the first choice. So I think the fullbacks and the I think goalkeeper are the issue because in midfield I think they Vipin Mohan, Rahul Kepi, Bryce Miranda, Adrian Luna. I think these are the solid players. So let's see.
Yeah, Arnavad, a team that has lost quite a bit, Hyderabad FC, still yet to recoup many of those
Just,
players.
just,
Yeah,
just before you go to Hyderabad, just
yeah.
to the Blasters. I think the big news of the day was that they've announced that Sotirio might be out at least for the remainder of
Till
this year.
2024.
So I think they will most probably look to sign an Asian replacement. So that's going to be one thing. I'm still not clear why Prabhsukan Gill was released, while Sachin Suresh has been given a 3-year contract extension. That's an interesting one because I thought Prabhsukan Gill was the clear number one at the club, but that towards the end did not seem to be the case. So that's, as is mentioned, I think it's an interesting one. Nauchez, I think, is a good signing, but has little to no ISL experience. Was with Round Glass last season, played a good season. One of the 3 lone players of Mumbai City at Round Glass. Yeah, and one player who's mentioned rarely, but I think who stood out also for India is Jeekson. And it'll be interesting to see if the Blasters are able to hang on to Jeekson or if Jeekson does seek a transfer in the coming weeks.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see. Arnav, again, this on Hyderabad, they've lost a lot of players, seem to slowly be doing their business. They bought in Vignesh DM in the last, I think, few weeks. He's coming from Mumbai City, who obviously Akash Mishra is now the first choice left back. What do you see Where do you see Hyderabad going in this transfer window? They haven't done too much. Have they left themselves short, and they've left themselves a lot to do in the last few weeks?
See, the point is that I don't know who all has read the statements from Manolo Marquez regarding, financial troubles, problems, salaries not paid on time. Still, the team pulled through, and then Varun, as an owner, said yes. Which I found big respect to Varun as a co-owner of Hyderabad FC, that he openly said yes. Whatever Manolo said was right. Manolo was not saying stories. There were financial issues or are financial issues at the club. So therefore, it'll be interesting to see how they manage that. They've done some good business. I mean, selling Akash Mishra for a good price to Mumbai City, getting Vignesh as a replacement as part of the deal. Smart buying. Joe Knowles as a forward, Australian. Jonathan Moya as a Costa Rican coming in. Makan Chote again as a winger. Interesting player who needs to showcase if he really is able to play in the ISL. So there are some players that they brought in. I think on paper they look weaker, but I think Shayan on his channel has discussed it multiple times with number of names of Hyderabad FC players linked to East Bengal, especially, Hitesh Sharma, Yasir, even Sana. I think that's going to be the question. Can you keep those along with Joao Victor, who's extended his contract already? So you have a little call. Gurmeet, I thought I saw him in training in the national team, look good, seems to have developed. Interesting to see, with Anuj Kumar, Lakshmikant Katimani, if there's going to be a competition for the goalkeeper position. So they don't, Neemdor Jitamang had a good season as well whenever he was playing at the start. So therefore, I think, there are players, but At the moment, I would say Hyderabad FC are not as strong as they were, because I think we have to also look at sort of their structure of, Connor Nesta coming in as a head coach, come actually, first team coach, because he doesn't have the license. So Tangbo Singto has to be named as the head coach. That guy has to really prove himself, and that will be a real test if he is able to keep the club together and then follow up and do what Manolo Marquez has been able to do over the last 3 years. Build a strong unit with limited resources and build something which is very, very successful.
Shaz, who are those players that are linked to East Bengal from Hyderabad FC? Do you see them losing out on them this transfer window?
No. Actually, I always said that Mohammad Yasir. In fact, when there was a strong call up that Mohammad Yasir was linked with East Bengal, I was one of those people who said that this is not going to happen. And Harry's laughing because I said that day, because it's not going to happen. We can't have a team, and there was a show done. You can't believe there was a show. It was done that there are thank you post. There was a thank you post given by the Hyderabad FC, which was misunderstood by few section of people, and people thought that there were so many people leaving, but that was not the case. I don't think any of the signings are possible. In the last week or in my show, I said Hitesh Sharma I don't see coming to East Bengal, and I don't. Yasir I've already confirmed he's not coming, and Sana's, in case of Sana, I'm not in the place to comment. Right, my standpoint is very clear.
Okay.
So I don't see any of this.
Rahul, you're listening. You can't comment, huh? So there might be something brewing, huh?
There is definitely something happening there.
No. In case of Sana also, I know I can't comment on that. But what I can say, what I would agree with Arun Avada, that this team doesn't look the way it looked last year. It had issues. I agree, but some way or the other, when I see this team, when I see this Hyderabad team, you have got a Gurmeet Singh in the goalkeeper. I think I find him very nice. He's a pretty solid goalkeeper. They got in Joe Knowles. I think a good signing. Jonathan Moya from Costa Rica. I think that's a good signing from them. And they've got Sahil Tavora, Hitesh Kumar, and what I've heard that Mohammad Yasir is continuing with them. So if these people are continuing with Neem Dorji and Nikhil Pujari already in the team, I don't see this team playing. But people may think this team looks very, very, very weak, but I somehow feel this team is not weak. It is somewhat better than many of the few teams which we are already discussed before. This team has got few good players. You have got Mohammad Yasir in your team. You got Nikhil Pujari, who was your national team player, playing 11 player last few days back. Then you got Gurmeet, you got Joe Knowles, I think Sahil Tavora is a good player. Hitesh Sharma is a very good player. So this team is not so bad. I agree that from last season it may not be. The team is not of the last year's stature, but somehow till now what the team, I don't know about what will happen to Sana and to one or two other players, but if this team stays with Sana also staying back with Hyderabad, I see that this team is pretty good. Don't underestimate Hyderabad FC, I would say. And few of my friends is saying that motivational speakers are not there, right? But this team is really good. This team is pretty good, what I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now going to probably the biggest club right now in Indian football, I personally, for me, it is Mumbai City. They signed Terry, Akash Mishra, obviously the big name. Harry, what do you expect from Mumbai this season? I don't expect any less. I think one or two, they have to finish first or second in the table. Where do they need any more signings? Because it seems like a very, very well, oiled and glued squad. They look perfect.
I think definitely they have rectified their positions where they need to be strengthened in this season, and I think they have done perfectly. With the left back, I think Vignesh Dakshinamurthy going out and Akash Mishra perfect. I think solid left back without a doubt, one of the India's, I think, currently strongest left back. So I think their position is taken care of. You can say defense, they find it that Murtada Fall is little bit, you can say, in high intensity games they find it that he might not that much, you can say, performance wise stand up. So they gone with Thierry. I think that's a great signing, मेरे हिसाब से. No doubt he was injured in last year season most of the time, but he is a solid center back. We all know that, and I think that also a great signing. And I really interesting to see the how UL Van Knife is going to perform, because Ahmed Jahu was really crucial part of that last season's Mumbai City FC. Because the way he is holding up that midfield position and the way he played, I think it will be a big shoes to fill up for UL Van Knife. But I think he is coming from Europe and a lot of competitive matches. So I think definitely let's see how he's going to perform in ISL. Particularly, I think interesting to see how he's going to perform in AFC Champions League. So I think all the bases are covered for Mumbai City. I think 2-3 positions they need to strengthen up, and I think they have done brilliantly. I don't see it needs to be too much changes. I think they have a settled core players and settled squad. So without you can say changes too much, I think they are set for this season. I think they are really aiming up for that ISL still to repeat, and also for AFC Champions League round of 16 maybe.
And about 2 seasons in a row, will they win the league shield?
They have the potential. I think they've looked at what they have. They looked at who wanted to go. They've looked at sort of who they wanted to release. The left back position has been a topic for Mumbai City for a while. And I think for them, it was very important to try and figure out who to bring in to sort that out. Akash Mishra at the moment, as he's proven in the SAF Championship, is the best left back in India, without a doubt. And that's a big signing. Despite, I remember I said that on Shine's channel 3 months back. Shine, 3 months back. I think about 3 months back, April, yeah, 3 months back, and everyone told, no, he's going to Mohun Bagan 100%. Up and down. But if Akash Mishra looks at himself, looks at option that City Football Group gives him potentially to try and train, play abroad, I think that makes sense. Important was also that you're able to keep Royston Griffiths. I think, we talk a lot about Murtada Fall, but I think Royston Griffiths gave them a lot of stability last season. Thierry at the moment is a backup, but it's a quality backup. Yoel Vanif, solid Dutch midfielder, a guy who can spread the ball, comes, so to say, with the credit of a City Football Group scouting. So from that perspective, I think good. They did good business in the winter. Gyani Nikum was signed last winter, so I think that's a player I look forward to. Halin Nongtu, the tall young centre back, is a player. More time. Akash Chikara, is someone else, the lanky striker whose contract has been extended. So they've done their homework. I think 1 or 2 players Mumbai City are still looking to sign. I think one topic that's being discussed is Jeekson Singh. They did opt out of the race in regard to Thapa. I think when they realized that Mohun Bagan was willing to go exorbitant on salary and transfer fee and then the whole package. So they pulled out of that. So maybe that is one position they might be looking at. But I think per se Mumbai City, somewhat sorted with the thing. I think the one other player, there are discussions potentially Gurkirat might go out on loan to a club. There's been a discussion also Mohamed Nawaz, if he will stay or if they're going to loan him out for the season. So there are a few positions. It's going to be interesting. Ahan Prakash, of course, is also there, young Indian goalkeeper. So therefore, what Des Buckingham does, because I think Des Buckingham over the last 2 seasons, great respect for what he's done. The level that Lalinzwala Changte has reached. Rahul Beke has solidified his performances again. Mehtab Singh has literally exploded. Purpalla Chempa has become an international player. Even players like Vinit Rai have improved. But I also think Vikram Pratap is one of those. Bipin is another one. Those two, I think, need to, showcase themselves a little of keeping the standard or getting better. I think that is what Changte did last season. And that's the thing. Bipin needs to perform across the season. Vikram needs to find space for himself to get more playing time, and that's going to be very, very important. And again, Apuya, lovely to see his development as well. So they've done a very, very good job. And the question is, yes, I think despite Mohun Bagan being sort of like the Galacticos, like Real Madrid, like, signing a lot of star players, but I think Mumbai City are still the team to beat.
Yeah. Well, Shan, on FC Goa then, couple of interesting signings from BFC. They've gotten Sandesh Jingan, Udanta Singh, signed Rainier Fernandez in the past few weeks. How are they looking?
If you ask me, FC Goa with a new coach, I think a huge expectation on Manolo Marquez this season. He's coming from Hyderabad, and people are expecting lot out of him because he was able to build a team from nowhere in Hyderabad, and expectation for him in Goa would be immense because last season Goa was not able to qualify for the playoffs. So I think Goa somewhat left. Many people were shocked. They left shocked when they left Edu Bedia this season from their team. It was shocker because he was one of the highest serving foreigners in the ISL market. So what I think of the team, if you ask me, I think Dheeraj is continuing with them. They've got in Sandesh Jingan, and I think the Syrian defender is also continuing with them. What I've heard.
Yes.
So the team looks settled. They've in plus they've got Ode Ondia from Hyderabad, and they've got him from loan Rodlin Borges also on loan from Mumbai City FC. They've got Boris Singh, and this Udanta is very. I think how Udanta does under Manolo. I think this is something I'm really interested to see because somewhere in last season in BFC, somehow I felt Udanta was not up to the level where he was 2-3 years back. And I think this team with Brandon Fernandez with the team, Ivan Dolling in the defense. Ivan Dolling, a player who was strongly targeted by Kerala Blasters, which didn't happen. He was also one of the players targeted by Kerala Blasters and one to other ISL teams. This team looks pretty solid for me, and with I think 2 or 3. I think Vasquez, Alvaro Vasquez, the foreigner, the forward. I think the Spanish. I think he's also a very good player. So I don't.
But
think,
I think aren't they releasing Vasquez or trying to release Vasquez
Yes.
because they have, I think, six foreigners already on their books. I thought Vasquez is the one they're trying to release.
Yes.
Yes.
But till now they are there with him. What I've seen,
Yeah.
Carlos Martinez is also with them, and I think
Exactly.
they've got Paulo also
Paulo Retre.
Paulo Retre, and Victor Rodriguez is also I think with them now, right?
Yeah,
Victor
yeah.
Rodriguez. So
Which Cheyenne was trying to sign for East Bengal, but Victor Rodriguez decided against signing with Cheyenne. Oh, sorry, with Cheyenne's club.
But we got in Solcus Pro, no issues with that. But let's see. I think this team looks pretty solid. Top four. I don't think FC Goa topping before top 4 this season. They are one of the teams to look into. Top 4 is something which I'm expecting them to be in, at least, if not top 2. Top 4 is something which I'm sure this team can go. Pretty
Well, fair
good team. Rainier Fernandez is also. This team has got very good players, individual very good players in the team. I don't think this team should stop before top 4. I think that is something a minimum expectation I have from this.
Yeah. Well, one of the guys they let go of, Edupedia, is close to, I mean, is what I've read, close to joining Roundglass Punjab. Harry, have you heard any rumors around this? Is there any truth in it? And what are you expecting from Roundglass after securing promotion?
Definitely, Edu Bedia is linked up with I think Punjab FC, and that will be the perfect signing for Punjab FC also because they retained that 3 foreigners which performed really well in I-League last season. Luka Majensen, Johan Mera, and Kiran Kumar Limbu. So I think Edu Bedia will be perfectly fit in that defensive midfielder kind of role. You can say holding midfielder type of role. I think that will be perfect signing for him. And Roundglass Punjab made some interesting, you can say, the I-League and Indian player signing. I think they go with that, and I think Amarjit Singh, I think they also signed from FC Goa. So that also a really young Indian midfielder who is also have a very good potential. So I think they are working, you can say, silently, but making some interesting player signings with proper scouting. So that will be the good sign. With you can say not spending a lot of money but just because we are promoted to the ISL. They are going with proper planning and spending money on the right thing and with backing of back of you can say by scouting. So that I think that will be the Punjab FC is a team to look out for. I think how they are because they maintain their you can say core place of foreign the three maestro I think who are really brilliant in I League last season. So it will be interesting to see how Punjab FC are going to set up, and I think the three foreigners still they left to sign, so that will also decide how they are going for this season.
Well, one team, I mean, Punjab are, I mean, they've just secured promotion, and it'll be interesting to see how the first ever promoted team in the ISL is going to do. Um, well, which other teams are remaining? Let's see. Jamshedpur.
Jamshedpur.
We can't miss out Jamshedpur because last few podcasts we've just been like, yeah, they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything. Is there anything to give to the Jamshedpur fans?
See, if you ask me, Jamshedpur, they are making a good team this season. What I've heard, I think this team is not bad. If you see, I think this season ISL, all of the teams. I think there are other teams also who we have not discussed last time. This team looks quite good. Scott Cooper heading this team. I think this team is quite. They've got in a very good Serbian forward, Alen Stevanovic. I think he's a very good player they've got in. And this guy has a very good pedigree. What I've checked of his, he's already as a Serbian player, Swiss-born player. Basically, he's a Swiss-born. What I've heard, this guy is a product of the I think youth academy of Serbia, and I think I think he made his debut also with the national team in 2012. So he has played for the national team of Serbia. Currently, age 32. I think age will be not a factor. 32 years of age is not so much. If you see the ISL, in ISL, we have seen many of the team players who has come from other clubs. This guy has played last season for a club where he was one of the in Serbia where he was one of the starters in the team. So he's within the game time. The game time he has got. So they've got in a very good quality foreigner, I think. And they've got one midfielder from Japan. His name is Rei Tachikawa. I don't know much about him, but the guy's age is 25 years old. He's a quite young guy. Last season he has played for Sirens, and he was a part of that Malta. Is a Malta league. He was playing in the Malta league. I don't know how he will play here. Very limited understanding about him, but they've gotten two players. What I feel who are pretty good. Not I would not say bad, and I'm really interested to see how they do with the national signings. Only after barring Ritik Das and Pranay Haldar, I don't see any of the players. I don't know how
they've done a sign. They've done a signing today. Imran Khan is signed for them from
Imran.
Northeast.
Imran.
They signed, and that's one of those players who in glimpses has shown at Northeast that he's a very talented midfielder.
Yes.
So the question is if where does he stand? And so therefore, I think again, some clubs have been announcing their players early. Some clubs have been in the rumor market, and Jamshedpur, like they are, calmly, quietly trying to sort themselves out. I think for them, important was to keep, certain key players. I think, as mentioned, Ritik Das was sought after in the market by multiple clubs initially. So therefore, let's see. They've made some first announcements.
I think there are a lot of. I think Surinder, sorry. वहाँ पे there is a lot of signing left. मैं कल ही सारी टीम का एनालिसिस कर रहा था. There are a lot of signing to be made. मतलब There is a, you can say, only 1.5 month left, less than 1.5 month left, and still there is a lot of signing needed for some of the clubs, particularly foreign signings. I think there are a still. I mean, the Jamshedpur FC needed 3 foreign signings still now. Odisha FC needed one. Kerala Blaster needed some of the foreign signings. Bangalore FC also needed 2, I think, foreign signings more. Hyderabad FC needs some more foreign signings. Chennai FC needs some, I think, 3-4 more foreign signings. I think they only signed Jonathan Murray, and I think Connor Shelby also done. So I think they also need 4 foreign signings. So I think there are a lot of foreign signing also need.
Not only foreign but domestic. Now, I think interesting this season will be that the Durand Cup starts early. So while your Durand Cup is on, the transfer season is still on. So therefore, teams might react again. Players are going to get injured. So therefore, teams will react. Players will leave. Again. So therefore, again, Mumbai City is in a situation depending on to how those players will settle in. Will some of the younger players be loaned out? Will Mumbai City do that again? What they did last season, 3 players to Round Glass Punjab. As discussed very early on, Mohun Bagan Supergiant have too many attacking options. I think they will release the one on the other player on that front, but to try and sign the one on the defensive player as well. So therefore, as Hiren said, it's very early in the transfer market. Again, on the other side, the most interesting, when you look at the transfer fees regularly being paid for players, which would have been a novelty 2-3 years back, to sign a player on a transfer fee. A lot of player announcements of long-term contracts till 2025, 26, 27, 28 even. So therefore, these are good signs for Indian football. So hopefully, one can build on those things.
Yeah, guys, just before we close this transfer show, one team that we probably missed out, Chennai. Anava, they've signed Irfan Yadwad. They've also signed Farooq Chaudhary. How do they look right now?
The best signing has been their coach, Owen Coyle. I think that's the most important signing for Chennai. Even though I liked Thomas Bedaric, I think he brought a different approach to the whole thing, and had, of course, if fit, in Nasai Al-Kayati, one of the best attacking players in the league. But again, if fit, I think that's going to be the question for Chennai. Who is going to be my playmaker? Because they've had now 2 playmakers in the last 3 years who've been more injured than fit. Thapa gone, Changte gone, Vishal Keth gone. How are you going to do it? Is Samik Mitra going to establish himself as a clear number one? Will they look to potentially bring in maybe someone as a new number one? I think they're still in the market. Irfan Yadwad is a huge potential, but I think Irfan Yadwad will see what he can do, and if he doesn't get enough time, again, I think Bangalore United or maybe a team in Goa might be an option for him to look at options. So therefore, good signing, talented striker, but he's only played 2nd division. So he was in the 3rd tier of Indian football. ISL is 1st tier. You've got Jordan Murray was only announced recently. So that's your first foreign signing. Owen Coyle will surely bring in 1 or 2 other foreign strikers. So therefore, I don't know how much time he's going to get. But Chennai, calmly, quietly, Farooq Chaudhary was mentioned, has been already signed. Ayush Adhikari from coming from Kerala Blasters, another good signing. So again, they will do it. East Bengal's Ankit Mukherjee signing, that's an interesting one, Shayan. So therefore, yeah, let's wait and see, which one's Bijay Chetri as well. A good.
Bijay Chetri is a good signing.
Very good signing. Very good signing, I feel. But again, these boys, I-League experienced. Can these boys with I-League experience move up to the ISL? And as Shaggy is asking, will he be loaned out? I potentially feel that Irfan Yadwad will potentially get a look in at the Durand Cup by Owen Coyle. And if Owen Coyle maybe feels he's not good enough, he might send him out on loan to Bangalore United or to another team, because I think that boy needs playing time, and jumping from the third tier to the top tier is a big ask. So therefore, give the boy time. I think again, Chennai had some interesting players. I'm hoping to see Jideshwar, had a good season whenever he was fit last season for them. So Vinci Barreto had his moments as well.
Akash
Again,
Sangwan.
Akash Sangwan,
Akash
not to forget. Again, I've heard that there are still clubs trying to sign Akash Sangwan. So therefore, that again, we are today's only the 19th of July. The transfer period is open for another 5-6 weeks. So therefore, a lot of players could get still transferred.
Final question of the day, Arnava. Kumar's been asking this a few times. Let's take it up. ISL announcing round last Punjab FC's promotion.
I think the confirmation has come in regard to that Ranglas Punjab FC will play the ISL because the club is now with its new logo called Punjab FC. So if you needed a confirmation, it hasn't come from the league, whereas it's come from the club. They've done or are doing all their homeworks that they need to do to be able to play ISL. They're signing players for the ISL as well. So yes, Punjab FC are an ISL team. We can discuss why FSDL or ISL has not announced it. Maybe they're going to do something closer to the season, but it would not be Punjab FC if the club was not playing ISL. It would have remained as Ranglas Punjab FC in the I League.
Fair enough. Well, guys, any final thoughts? Shayan, Harry, anything that you want to
I had a question for all of you guys. Which is so far, again, we're in the middle of the transfer market. Which is the transfer so far for you? Which is the best transfer that happened? And which is the transfer that you would have liked to have seen that didn't happen? Oh, all of you are laughing. Rahul is bending back saying, "Bhai, mujhe mat pucho." So, all three of you. Now I put you in the spot. Who wants to start?
Rahul.
I think I'll start.
Come on, Rahul.
Best signing for me is Akash Mishra. I think best signing, definitely Akash Mishra looked so good when I saw him play for India. It's looking at him play live is a different experience, and I absolutely loved it. He's got pace. He's very explosive, and that's not something that you generally associate. I mean, at least I've seen other Indian players. So Akash Mishra, brilliant signing, top signing. I think
and fighting spirit, Rahul, the fighting spirit that he showed in those matches against these players, especially when he came on against Lebanon, right? Also against Kuwait, and in extra time where he was doing the meters. I remember I was discussing it with Eugenson and Darren Caldera when we were standing up there, right? Agree.
And just a couple of runs, picks up the ball in his half, like deep in his half, and goes all the way to the opposition box and tries to whip in crosses. Like he's getting fouled left, right, center. Referee's not calling it. He still goes, and I mean, it's incredible. Like a signing that sadly didn't happen. I mean, there were no rumors or links, but I wish Akash Mishra joined BSC. But I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
आपने बना भी लिया था. You made that logo also, no? One day I saw suddenly how this happened. For 1 minute it took me back. How this happened suddenly?
So Shayan, best transfer so far? Generally, don't talk East Bengal. We're talking generally.
No, general. No, not actually. If you ask me generally, in Indian this season till now, signing, I think people would be. I think I'll agree with what Rahul said. I think Akash Mishra signing to Mumbai City FC, I think was the best signing till now. If you ask me, people may say that Mohun Bagan fans are saying that Subhasish Bose was equally good. Is equally good, but what we have seen in SAF Cup and in Continental Cup, Akash is playing right now is one of the best time of his life. He's playing he's playing pretty good football. So Akash Mishra would be one of the signings. with that, if you want to, I can add one, Unauda, if you allow. If you
Yes,
allow
please,
me,
please.
sign a signing. I was pretty pleased. I think Sandesh Jingan to FC Goa. I think I'm very excited to see how he plays under Manolo. I have many doubts how, but knowing how big a fighter he is, I think that is a signing. I think that was another signing. I think which is pretty well planned. Let's see how it feels. And one of the signings which didn't happen, here we can have a bit of humor. I think Sergio Lovera to East Bengal.
Even though it had to
Right.
come in at some stage. Okay, it had to come in. The deal which was supposedly done, which never happened, right? Sergio Vera to East Bengal Football Club.
Uh,
Yeah. Hiren, bhai, your
uh,
top transfer so far. Akash Mishra.
my top. नहीं Akash Mishra is definitely there, but I think for me is Jason Cummings. I think he is the player. I think that you can say कि वो मतलब लोगों में एक्साइटमेंट आ गई है, सिर्फ मोहन बगान फैंस में ही नहीं, सारे मतलब एक्साइटेड है कि भाई एक ऐसा, क्योंकि आप देखिए आईएसएल में आई थिंक 2-3 साल में ऐसा मतलब इतना हाइप्ड अप वाला कोई प्लेयर नहीं आया कि जो मतलब सभी फैंस उसका वेट कर रहे हो, जिस तरह से ए लीग में परफॉर्मेंस भी रहा है आई थिंक उसका, आई थिंक क्लियरली सो उसकी भाई बंदे में, और जो उसकी मेंटालिटी है ना, आई थिंक दैट विल बी द रियली इंटरेस्टिंग टू सी, बिकॉज जिस तरह से वो अपने आप को कंडक्ट करता है I think that will be the more you can say controversial also, maybe some fans will not like that also, so that will be the really interesting thing to see. So for me I think Jason Cummings is a वो परफेक्ट साइनिंग, बट मैं ये नहीं बोलूंगा कि कौन सी साइनिंग हुई नहीं है, मेरे को लगता है कि एक जो साइनिंग मेरे को जो लगती है कि उतनी ज्यादा परफेक्ट नहीं हुई है, वो आई थिंक मेरे हिसाब से सहल, मेरे को नहीं लग रहा था कि सहल एंड अनुरित थापा दोनों मोहन बगान जाएंगे. आई थिंक आइदर वन ऑफ देम आई फाइन विद इट, बट दोनों को जाने से आई थिंक दोनों आई डोंट सी बोथ आर गेटिंग द मतलब गेम टाइम्स. आई थिंक आइदर वन ऑफ देम विल बी ऑन द बेंच फॉर श्योर.
And looking at current form, I guess Sahal is at a bigger risk than Anirudh Thapa, I would think. And Anirudh Thapa is more versatile and can tactically also play more. Shaggy said something interesting. Manolo to FC Goa, good one, Shaggy, because I think Manolo was a coach that quite a few clubs tried to sign over the last 12 months. A lot of clubs were trying to get their hands on Manolo Marquez, who with limited resources, limited budget, built not only a good team but created real Indian talent. I think that's the big thing.
My question is which is the best coach signing and which is the worst?
See, the best, we can talk now. Now it's 19th of July. So amongst the best, Manolo.
Because all the coach are signed. 12 के 12 क्लब ने कोच साइन कर लिए हैं. अब किसी में कोच आना बाकी नहीं है.
See, Manolo, Lobera, Owen Coyle. Those would be my top three. Signing of coaches.
And worst. Conor Nestor.
I don't know enough about him to be able to say something about him again, and that's it. Again, Hyderabad have financial restrictions, budget nahi hai itna, so therefore they have a problem, right? I'm surprised that they've not tried to sign someone Spanish, because that's worked for them very well. Again, that's a thing. If we look at Spanish versus English, I mean that's something which has gone even more now, that German element, sadly, with Thomas Badagic is no longer there.
Too many Spanish coaches. No,
but they bring
6 or 7.
Yeah, but they bring quality now. They bring quality into the league. I think they've got a proven track record. I think the most difficult job, if you look at, I wouldn't say the worst signing, but I would say the most difficult and the toughest assignment of all coaches is at Shayan's club. I think Carlos Quadrat, with all the expectations of him, having won the ISL at BFC, with Lobera nearly done, I think that's added pressure on him, that that even supposedly even a bigger coaching name was supposed to come to the club. East Bengal has not done well for the last 3 years. Overall, the signings are good. But I still say, and I think we've all said it, centre back, Desi, foreign, crucial. So that will be, I think that will be the challenge. And I think I'm interested to see, Rahul, your club, Mr. Grayson, if he can pull it off again. I think that's going to be an interesting one, because I think
There is an interesting statement by City Football Group managing director regarding Des Buckingham future, because he is also with his last third year of contract. So might be next season, you never know.
see, Des Buckingham, if he does well again, is
Yeah.
going to be a candidate at bigger clubs.
That's why.
And the point is with him is if Des Buckingham continues to do well, the City Football Group will try and place him at a bigger club, most probably somewhere in Europe, or maybe Melbourne or New York, whatever. So therefore, Des Buckingham himself is trying to, is on a trajectory. But again, I think I feel excited. In a few weeks with the Durand Cup coming up, most of the teams are looking exciting. I think we'll also in the future shows also start discussing the I-League. What are the teams doing? Hearing a lot of things about which coaches are going where. Who potentially the new teams in Delhi, Interkashi, Bangalore United might sign. Just to update on that I-League thing. Shine, any news out of Kolkata? Bunker Hill still partners with Mohammedan Sporting? Yes or no?
Yes, they are till now.
They are till now, which would mean that Bunker Hill would not be actually getting a team in Gurgaon. And of course, the situation which very few people are discussing, which I feel is when we come to talk about the I-League, is the situation in Manipur. Will Neroka, will Trao be able to play in the I-League? Because Neroka has been very, very open about it, that playing the Durand Cup outside of the state with all the costs involved was simply not possible. So I do hope that these two teams can play the I-League, and again, let's hope for a good season, because I think the I-League will also be a very, very interesting thing. Local leagues, the Kolkata Football League the Calcutta Football League, the CFL has already started with the bang. A lot of interesting matches, 26 teams, a lot of outstation players in Kolkata. I think there might be some players who might be playing well now. I think if I was working in an ISL team, I would actually be getting an in-sport OTT subscription and tracking the CFL.
CFL is the best broadcasting, sir. I think top-notch broadcasting.
Broadcasting is good, but it's also a good scouting platform, because you still have time to potentially sign players. And another thing which I've seen, some of the boys from the Reliance Foundation signing for teams. Mumbai City has signed players. East Bengal has signed 3 boys. BFC has signed some boys. So that's also a good sign that the players that Izumi Arata was working with my good friend Devan Daniel at Reliance Foundation, that those kids are being signed. Hopefully they will be able to perform better. We've had Mohammad Nemil, we've had Chikara. There's some boys who've come out of the Reliance Foundation program, and I hope some of the younger boys also get chances in the teams. And it's going to be interesting. And if we take a final question, SKN, Rahul?
Yeah.
Habas and Lobera. Habas and Fernando. Will Juan Fernando be coach of Mohun Bagan Supergiant at the end of the season? Or will Habas have taken over?
I think they are going with a backup plan. I think they are going with a backup plan. I think. Because the players they are signing and the dressing room, the John Fernando has to handle. I think Habas is the man who can handle this type of, you can say, big star-studded players. So John Fernando, let's see. I think it is best for him if he do well in this upcoming 6 months. then we can say that he also managed to well. But I think the type of players and the big star-studded signing, I think it's only the Habas. Habas can handle this type of pressing too.
Shan?
I have a doubt now because I think Habas's inclusion to this team as a technical director is somewhat as a signal what I can feel in from here that if something doesn't go according to the plan in the AFC Cup and in the final few matches of ISL, um, as Arunavada you said, this is something which is something which be always in the cards. And he was in brink of leaving this club in the start of February last season. So
And that's an interesting one, Shan. That's an interesting one. And Rahul, the same thing with Simon Grayson. At the end of
Grayson,
Jan,
yeah.
or even Grayson a little earlier, Simon Grayson, another loss was gone. I think Lobera, I'm saying Ferrando, another loss is gone. Lobera will be interesting also. Odisha and Goa, two teams who've in the last sort of 2-3 years have tried to put a little bit more focus on younger players, also giving, especially Goa, giving chances to players from the developmental squad, have gone all out in the market, brought in, big names. So I think exciting season to look forward.
Sure.
Really exciting.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, thanks a lot. Thanks, Rahul. Thanks, Harry. Thanks, Cheyenne, for joining this transfer update discussion. And again, we'll be doing this hopefully a few more times until the transfer window is shut. And today we didn't discuss the whole Asian Games thing. I think we'll do another show on that maybe later this week to talk about it, because there seems to be some development at the moment from the IOA side that we're out at the moment. But do follow Sports Khabri, do follow Arun Foot, do follow Curious Halley, do follow Indian Food and Football, the channels of us four, and do share, subscribe, like, let the people know, let them be part of this discussion. Let's grow this discussion on transfers, and let's grow the community. And guys, thanks a lot once again, you three. Thanks a lot also to the people watching, and we'll catch you soon again on Candid Football Conversations. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.